Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, coming to you. We're going to pretend it's Tuesday, February 17th at 11:59 p.m. Give or take 4 minutes. Let me get my devices set up so I can see if anybody's going to be hanging out with me tonight. Make sure we've got sound. I did restart my phone, so that usually helps. We're going to kind of wing it again tonight. And let's get this party started. All right. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everybody has had a good day. Hello, Rosa. Is it still raining by you? Because it's raining by me. It's been raining, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours now. It's supposed to stop in a few more hours. And oh, it's raining a lot. How's your neck? It was you last night that was having the stiff neck issue. Ours doesn't sound like a heavy rain. It just sounds like steady, maybe big drops, because I can hear it outside the studio door here. Oh, so I've forgotten, Rosa, are you a demonstrator? I do not remember. I should probably get some lotion on my hands so I don't look like a 100-year-old turtle. You are not a demonstrator. Okay. So, if you're not working with a demonstrator, if you're interested in any of the things that Stampin' Up! Has going on, sales and that sort of thing, you can find my store at latenightlory.stampinup.net. Free shipping starts today for 3 days. I think I have, yes, free shipping, 3 days only. So today, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it'll be done on Friday, and it goes by Mountain Time. So you do have to order $75 if you got bonus coupons or Stampin' Rewards. Once those come off, you still have to be at the $75 threshold to get the free shipping. But if you qualify for the free shipping, you might want to consider even getting that product of the month for $5. Mine has not arrived yet. I placed an order because we were gone. I placed an order like 5 days ago. It's shipped, but it's just not here yet. So, and then there is a joining offer too. I don't know how much you shop or if you do other places and stuff. You have a demonstrator already. If you have a demonstrator, certainly work through your person. But there's this great joining offer right now too. So depending on how much you order, the $99 starter kit is a great deal because you get $125 worth of product. But through March 2nd, you also get this new Stampin' Positioner for free. That's a $49 offer. Or value, $49 value. And I just realized I do not have any water. You don't have the space. I know that's an issue for a lot of people. For people that craft with me that don't have a lot of space. Hey, Juju. Macman's in bed. He's still sick. How's your back? Rosa and I both having rain where we are. It was Still pretty mild today though. And we were just talking about not being able to have space to put things. I mean, I'm pretty lucky when we built the addition for my parents to come live with us. I renovated 2 bedrooms and I combined 1.5 bedrooms, and that became my crafting space that had been kind of tucked up into a very small space upstairs. So, hello, Allie. Yeah, well, when it's limited, what I tell my people is consider kits, because then you don't have to have all of the stuff, or use your stash. All right. So, for those local to me, I have coffee and a card tomorrow or later today. At 10 a.m. we'll be at Cat's Coffee House in the village next to my town. We're usually there for a couple of hours. I know I've got a few people coming, so if you haven't RSVP'd, feel free to come. And then I'm not sure about this Zoom meeting on the 22nd. We'll see. But Thursday the 19th, we've also got this virtual craft class for the lovely blossoms. And I showed you last night I have all my stuff. So hopefully I have another Stampin' Up! Meeting at the same time. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to miss of the virtual class, because the other class or the other meeting I have to go to is kind of important too. So we'll just see how everything pans out. If you've got bonus day coupons, make sure that you use those up by February 28th or you lose them. And we are on to Craftin. All right. So let's kind of pick up where we left off last night, if that's all right, because I had this piece cut out and I wanted to use it from the Friendly Foliage stamp set and dies. So we've got the bundle. All right, these are online exclusives. I love the font for this. And I pulled out the Blackberry Bliss too, because I thought that would be really pretty. But we had this, we started this, and I know Allie, I think it was Allie, said you had just gotten this stamp set and or bundle, and you were interested to see how it would work. It just didn't work with the stuff that we had going on last night with the paper that we use. I didn't think it worked with that paper, because these leaves are pretty rounded and these were all pointy. So I did not get the inside of this done yet. So, all right. So Allie, I'm not sure how everybody is. I'm not sure if Rosa still has neck issues. I don't know if Juju still has back issues. Rosa and I are both having rain where we're at. And I think that sums up where we're at. I think you're up to speed. So let's figure out what we want to do here. I have to also finish prepping for my coffee and a card. I have a few little tidbits. I have to put the stuff in the packages. I've got most everything cut out, I think, and laid out. MacMan came in and he's like, "Ooh, that looks fancy," because I had it all, lined up for my stuff. And I did post on my Facebook page one series of stuff. We're kind of doing a modified version of last night's card. So, oh, Rosa, you're having cold symptoms too? Or you had the cold, not the neck. Did somebody else have the sore neck, the stiff neck? Oh, I better plug in my iPad here. That's right. You did have the cold, because I was thinking cold rain. So let's first decide if we're good with this paper. I think it works with this piece that we already stamped and cut out, but I want to try something else too. These other pieces, hopefully MacMan didn't give you a cold through the computer. He hasn't been hanging around me very much. He's been steering clear of me. I've been telling him to wash his hands more often too. This is the page that I pulled out for this. Oh, Allie, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's a hard thing to go through. Making the decision is hard, but watching your family member suffer is also hard. So that's a really, really rough one to get through. Were you able to go to Dallas to see her today or not? It's a lot of driving for you. We will still keep them in our thoughts and prayers, and you. So this is probably a good subdued card for what we're looking at today. These other colors are pretty bright and not quite what I'm looking for with this. How are you holding up with it all, Allie? I know it's a sister-in-law, but like my sister-in-laws, I would be devastated. So we've got a couple of choices to work with here. All right, so you're planning to go on Thursday. Well, I wish you safe travels and peace. All right. If we're going to use this piece of designer series paper, do we want to do a white card base or the shaded spruce? Or we could do both of them and layer. We could do a little bit of layering going on here too. Maybe the white on the bottom. That certainly is a comfort. All right, so we'll do a layer. Should we put which one is the base, the white or the shaded spruce? I'm almost thinking the shaded spruce should be going behind the designer series paper layer. Does that seem fair? And then the white would be our base. Yeah, I like layers too. It just adds to the beauty of the cards. Well, of course you like layers, Juju. Your journals are layers and layers and layers. Lots of texture in those, which I like. I'm big on having texture. That's why some of these papers really stand out to me. All right. So I think we'll do this maybe edge to edge again rather than a frame, because I think that just looks a little more rich. Let's just take an 1/8 inch off for now and see. That doesn't show much of the white. I'll have to take another 1/8 off. I'd rather take less off and go back and take more off than take more off and have to start over. All right. So there's that. And this is actually just slightly taller than the card base. 5.5. Oh, that's because this is it's longer than 5.5. Just a smidge. Yeah, gluing it back together is a pain. If it's glued on somehow that you can conceal it, it's not so bad. There's a song by Casting Crowns. If you're familiar with Christian music at all. It has them listed as a rock band when I put them on here. There's a song, it's called Scars in Heaven. Have you ever heard it? It's sad and therapeutic at the same time, if that makes any sense. I played it a lot when my mother passed away. So this was 4. Let's do this 3 3/4 and see how that looks. So you've probably heard the song then, Allie? It's a very pretty song. But I would listen to it several times a day. I don't as much anymore. But I did then. That's kind of pretty. What do you think? And then if we do our vellum, I still like the idea of the vellum. But I'm not sure if I like the idea of the textured trim. Can you see that? Because I use the textured notes dies. I don't know if you can see that texture on there. I think maybe I should just trim this down to have no edge. What do you think? No edge on the vellum? Tough choice. Well, I have an extra, so I'm going to trim these off. And we're going to see how it looks. And if we like it better with the textured edge, I can always use a different one, right? I would have the video for that song playing repeatedly. I don't know, what do you think? Yay to the vellum or nay to the vellum? You like it both ways? So there's the bordered vellum. I almost think I like that better. Yeah, definitely with the vellum. I'm just wondering if we want to do it with the textured edge or without the textured edge. That looks super plain to me right now. Any opinions? I think maybe we'll stick with this unless somebody says no. All right. Yeah, with the texture, I think that works. All right. So then the other thing I thought, there are a couple of dies here. What did I do with those dies? I think I put them back in the package so that I wouldn't lose them. I did. So these dies give this really nice lacy kind of leaf. And I thought what we could do is camouflage them behind the vellum. Because I think if they're on top of the vellum, it competes too much with this layer. But behind the vellum, they're a little more subtle. Oh, I suppose I can go back out a little bit, right? Maybe, there we go. The other thing that we could do is, the other thing we could do is stamp them on our designer series paper. And the other thing we can do too, this was one that I had stamped and cut already. Yeah, I could definitely use them to embellish the inside of the card. So the other thing I thought about doing is cutting off the frame. And this was the extra one, so if we don't like it without the frame, we still have that one that actually goes with it. This is just a supplemental one. This is like the prototype one. Sorry, I have to concentrate when I fussy cut. I truly can walk and chew gum at the same time though, if anybody was wondering. I was pretty coordinated when I was younger. Less so now that I'm getting older. I just don't pay attention as much. So this is kind of pretty without the frame. Of course, if you like it without the frame, you're going to have to watch me fussy cut this off again. I kind of like that without the frame. And then we could actually put our sentiment down along the bottom here, or ribbon. We could put ribbon across the bottom of the card with a knot. I think the knot would look better than a bow. We'll do not a bow. All right, so with a frame or without the frame. So now without the frame, we could probably use that one. And we'll just add in some of these other element pieces. And jazz it up a little bit. You like it with the frame, Rosa? Okay. Oops, I don't want to lose that. So let's do this quick. Oh, I can't. I have to color it first. So if I do this, I want to make sure I have enough ribbon. All right, so frame, no ribbon. All right, so we got 2 with the frame and 1 without the frame. So we might have to do 2 of these, huh? So with the frame, frame, no ribbon. So if we do this one this way, and then if we, let's just try, we're going to do some stamping here. But I think we're going to stamp off. Oh. Let's see how that looks under the vellum, if it even shows. Oh, it does show. Oops. I probably wouldn't have had to stamp off. And then I think I can save these other elements for inside, like what was suggested. That one doesn't show the design, so why use it? All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and let's just stamp a few more of these on, where's the littler one? I wonder if we can change the shape of this since it's photopolymer. If I do it quick, I can make it a different shape. All right, we'll leave well enough alone. So let's go ahead and close this up for now. And we'll start gluing some of these pieces on. I sometimes forget, I think I a lot of times forget, if I start with my glue in the center, if there's a big glop on it, then I don't have to worry about it being too close to the edge and oozing out under my layer. All right, and this I think I can put just like kind of like right down the middle. And I think that's nice because having it go edge to edge here gives us almost an equal border around there. And then this can go in there. We've just got the little subtle foliage pieces behind there. I wonder if I should have put that vellum. Now the vellum can't really go up on dimensionals because it's not going to be held down all the way. I could have some music playing in the background, but then I'd probably get in trouble for violating some copyright laws and have to pay royalties. And I don't want to do that. All right, so, oh, the other thing I was going to do too is, we can also do that on another card. We need to decide what we want to do as far as a sentiment and where we want to put it. Here for you always, maybe down there. And I'm going to do a little bit of embossing, heat embossing. So let's go ahead. I guess I don't need two of these. I can do it all on one. Get our embossing buddy first. Lots of quietness going on here tonight. White. Versamark. I have green ink on that, so I don't want to put that in my Versamark. Fair enough, Juju. And then, where did my other stamp go? Here it is. I'm just curious to see what this would look like embossed in white. Oh, and you can't even see what I'm doing here. Sorry. Those need to be cleaned. These need to be not lost. Ooh, that turned out really nice. All right, let's do a little heat gun on here. Heat embossing is really, it cats me out, don't you think? Fair enough. Everybody's got stuff to do. I get it. I just didn't want to be putting everybody to sleep. the magic happens here. I think we're good. All right. Let's see how this looks. So we could leave this all solid too. Let's cut that. Oh, this isn't set all the way. All right, let's get the powder back out here, see if I can fix it. I missed a corner. Try that again. I thought it was all shiny, but I guess I was mistaken. There, I think we got it now. All right, let's put this away again. Isn't that pretty? All right. It's a shame there's not dies to cut that out. So let's... I could try to cut it down with the matching, with that one. I could try to trim it. I'll try to do that. We'll see how it looks. And I've got my embossing machine on my cart over here, so I don't have to disrupt the whole table again. Give me a second, I'll be right back. My Post-it tape is pretty sticky. All right, so here's this one. Oops. Now remember, there's another die though. Where'd my embossing buddy go? Get that out of the way. There's another die where we can cut out the inside pieces. But I almost think that gives a nice, well, I guess that's going to have to stay like that. Here's my other vellum pieces. Here we go. So if we do this, like this, see, cards can go quick when I'm not being putsy, right? All right. That looks quite stunning, don't you think? Oh, how did I get that so crooked? That was scored crooked. Wow. Let's see if I can get this straightened out and not have it look too crazy. All right, that'll work. Here we go. So if we do this, and this, and this, and this, that's really quite pretty. So 2 different looks with the exact same layout and almost the same elements. And then these pieces we can use on the inside. I don't know that I care for this one so much. It looks just kind of like it doesn't belong. But these I like. I will cut more of those out. And then let's try to get that put away. Let's try to get this cut out nice. And that's relatively easy because I don't really have to line anything up per se. It's not like I'm extending it, I'm just cutting it smaller. As long as I can make sure I get it on here straight. I think that'll work. Okay, except we lost a little corner. Oh, we lost 2 corners. I guess I'll leave it like that. What do you think? Maybe if I should put it here and then those missing corners show. I think that works. No, I don't need those on the front. All right, so there's that one. That one, I'll do a similar sentiment on there. And then I'll get those glued together later. Let's get this put away so I don't lose that. Then let's take a look at this Blackberry Bliss one just for fun. Because I think I have all the pieces cut out that we need for that. Now, I will probably put a ribbon somewhere on these with a knot. We'll have to see. And this one might need some glitz, so I might have to put like some Wink of Stella on there. That might help. There we go. I thought, oh, is this gummed up in here? This one? The knotted ribbon on there, you think? I'm taking my alcohol blends to my coffee and a card tomorrow. I hope nothing gets ruined. I have some newer stampers there. So I think they're pretty open to being guided. It's usually the experienced ones I have found that come to my classes and ruin things because they're just not paying attention. Dry that a little bit. The alcohol blends do dry pretty quickly. Yep, it's dry. So it might need to go kind of in the middle, middle-ish. Well, I'm glad I did the embossing because that really does make it stand out quite nicely. And I gotta walk over to the other table and get my ribbon scissors to trim that. So I get a nice clean cut. I have to make sure I take them tomorrow for my coffee and a card. So that'll look something like that. Ish. Once I get it put together, it'll look nicer. All right, let's take a look at this one now. Oh, now I think I need another piece of vellum though. I'm going to get a nice mix of colors on this one with the light and the dark. I think that'll do good. That's not long enough. I don't need 4 1/4, I need 4. And I guess I need to cut that down to 5 1/2 also. So if we're at 6, I need to do a 1/4 inch off of each. And because I want to keep some of that other color on here. I don't remember if there was berry burst in there, because I could edge that. Let me go get a piece of berry burst. See how that looks. Ooh, I could double mat that. Oh, that's pretty. All right. So we need to trim this down. And just a barely there strip of white. And I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more. Like just a 1/16 on each edge. And then we need the vellum. Unless, that would be pretty dark, but it might be nice. Let's just trim that and see how that looks. And then I'm going to get a piece of vellum also. I thought I should still have another piece of vellum because I should have had 3 of them. Oh, I did. I cut that one down and we didn't use it. Need a little wax paper on here. They're getting sticky. So if I put that there, and then these on here, tuck some of these little ones in here. And I'll probably do a little knot bow on the bottom of this one as well. And add a sentiment. What do we think? 3 unfinished cards. We got masking paper. So let's go ahead and put some of these together. So we can kind of get a better idea of how it looks. So Allie, this is the set you got, right? Now you kind of know how beautiful it is with that embossing. And now this layer could actually go up on dimensionals because it's a little more substantial now. The one with just the frame, not so much. Do we need vellum on this one, huh? We need vellum. I almost messed that up. That's pretty. It's very pretty. And this we can put right up on top of there, I think. Let's see how this fits. I don't want to cover up those pretty pieces, so I guess that's going to have to kind of go down there. I did get glue on my finger. And that can probably just tuck right in there. I think that'll be okay. Maybe like so. You can't see that other corner that's missing there. I just wonder if I should snip both of the corners out so it looks like it's intended to be that way. It's not intended to be that way. It's just they got caught when I double die cut it to get that smaller square. At least now it looks symmetrical. So we can put glue on this side and dimensional on this side. I guess I could put a dimensional up on there too. With the embossing, I don't know that I need gems on this one, but I'll probably put them on there anyway, because I think it'll just add a little something. And then this one is all put together. I just need to add, I can't really put a ribbon on here now because I glued it all down, but we need to do some kind of sentiment on here. Maybe something like that. Let's see here. I think I used Secret C for that. Here for you always won't work. We need something smaller. Thinking of you would work. Very subtle and understated. Nice. And then let's get a piece of the shaded spruce cardstock. Did I use all of that already? And let's cut another one of those. Here's what I'm going to do. We are going to cut down from corner to corner a little bit here. that can go there. And it looks like it belongs there. And then this one doesn't look like it belongs there. All right, so I guess we'll just leave that like that. I was thinking I could have extended it, but I don't like how those edges there look. So we'll just go like this. So we'll glue these together. We'll put that up on dimensionals. I could just put this back on here to give it some more strength, I guess, since I'm not extending it. One last dimensional on there. Now, the other thing that I could do is, what if we put a piece of ribbon behind here as just kind of a flag? That's a challenge without my ribbon scissors here. Let's get my little coloring piece again. I'm going to use the dark shaded spruce this time. I used the light one on that one, but because we've got the darker color there, dry that a little bit. Beautiful. And then this now is probably maybe a little long. Let me go get my ribbon scissors. Should have probably hung on to them, but that's all right. I'm just going to decrease that angle a little bit. And I should have thought about that before I put the dimensionals on. So let's peel these off. I might have to use new ones. That's all right. There's more where those came from. All right. So we'll do a little seal in the middle here. That's pretty close. All right, and now more dimensionals. And I'll just put that over the edges of here too, and that'll help secure that as well. Whoops. A little overzealous there where I was. So this needs a little bit more trimming because it's just a tad too long. And that means this one needs just a little touch off of here too. There. Those are all kind of pretty. Then the only other thing I need to do is get a sentiment for this one and color some ribbon as well, because I will put that around this layer too. I'm just going to wrap that around so I can kind of eyeball how far I need it. I am not usually one to use up my ribbon. This is brand new and I have used the majority of that roll already. Who'd have thunk that I would be using cloud cover ribbon so much? Now I had there. I know I had the blends out here. That's going to look nice. And I'm just kind of going through my head thinking, all right, what other pieces do I have to make sure are prepped for tomorrow? Because I always make sure that I take extras, because I never know for sure how many people are going to show up. One time I had like 7, one time I just had 1. You just never know who's going to take a fancy to what I'm working on, you know. Some of my regular gals have let me know they're going to be there, so I guess I don't want to squish that yet until I dry it a little bit. Allie, I forgot. Do you do videos? Excuse me, daily, weekly, or how often do you do your videos? That's good. All right, bone folder. Sometimes it's easy to flip those ends over so that you've got the flatter part of the knot. That worked out pretty good, pretty good. So let's go ahead and do some gluing here. And I know some people with their layers will just use like Stampin' Seal or tear and tape. I just really like the liquid glue because I never have anything coming apart on a card, at least. Sometimes it'll happen on a 3D item. You know, maybe the glue didn't set or if it's too humid. But for a card, I've never had anything come apart with the glue, the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. But sometimes I have had cards kind of peel apart that I've received. So it could be that they didn't use the Stampin' Up! Product. They may have used a different product. I don't know. So you do 4 to 6 a week. That's quite a few. So you do 2 cards every time? That's quite a lot. So I've stopped into your site, but I haven't watched anything yet. Sorry. I like that with the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue, I have a little bit of wiggle room too. Oh yeah, you were talking about the Woolly Friends yesterday. So do you go live or do you record them and upload them? That's pretty close. I used to record mine, but then my phone ran out of memory. So I got a new phone. My new phone ran out of memory because I had, you know, the videos take a lot of space and I wasn't offloading them off my phone fast enough. So I just said, forget it. I guess I'm going live. All right, and then these beautiful pieces are going to conceal that. Are you on Facebook or YouTube? Facebook, you just need to have it's easy. Facebook, as long as you've got 100 followers, you can go live. I'm going to let these set so that I don't have glue oozing everywhere. Yeah, if you've got 100 followers, when you go in and do an ad, like not a marketing ad, but like an ad video or a post, there should be a button that just says go live. And then you just need to point your camera wherever it is you want to go. Holy cow. That's a lot on Facebook. I struggled to get 100. That's awesome. So let those set. And that. Well, you know, whatever it takes to get the market, you know. All right. So those all I'm going to let set. And I'll have to decide what kind of sentiment I want. I might just do another little thinking of you. Maybe emboss that in white. So that's a lot of friends through video games. Hey, wherever you find your relaxation and enjoyment, go for it. I used to play some of the phone games quite a bit. But it's been a long time. I started playing a Tetris kind of game. I just downloaded the app for it this weekend with my granddaughter. She wanted to do games. We were waiting for something. She's like, Grandma, do you still have any games on your phone? I'm like, no, I don't think I do. Let's take a look at the games. So I found a Tetris. I figured that was educational enough. Well, knowing 1,000 of them is still a lot. That is still a lot. Yeah, I imagine the swaps would help too. That's good. And then if you've gotten some customers from there, that would be good too. Probably not with the swaps so much, because that's probably more demonstrators. I was afraid I was going to do that. So that obviously is getting tacky enough. Let's kind of line this up to conceal some of that if we can. And then this one, we can kind of go that way. When you let that multi-purpose liquid glue dry a little bit, it becomes like a repositionable sticker. You probably knew that already though. Oh, that was silly. I should have put my ribbon on this whole piece before I glued that all down. Whoops. All right, I wonder if we can gently peel it off here. Why, yes, we can. All right. I'm going to peel these off. And then I can trim those quite a bit. And then maybe just put some tear and tape. I wonder if that would work. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Yeah, I still only have, I don't know, like 120 some followers on Facebook. Facebook just never really took off for me. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and trim these couple little stems though. Because I don't want those hanging out. And I still need to put some, couple more dimensionals under there now. I had my sheet out here. I don't know where it went. I probably put it, there we go. Well, I'm glad I put that layer up on dimensionals because I was able to pivot and get that ribbon on. And then I just need to figure out what I want to do with this. I think we'll just trim it down square. Probably trim it tighter than that. That might be all right. That'll work. Put this little half dimensional there. We'll put some glue on here. And we're going to call it a night. Because I think everything will be buttoned up except for any embellishments. Fun. All right, so which one are you going to recreate, Allie? The embossed one, I imagine, or the flat one? Thanks, Juju. things to square away here. What have you been working on, Juju? Cleaning things up? The embossed one is really probably the one that stands out the most out of the three. So if I was going to rank them, 1, 2, 3, as far as preference. Juju, you agree? Yeah. Berry burst and mossy meadow. That would, or yeah, that might be pretty. That would be an interesting color combination. Hey, Lori from Minnesota. Thank you. Some of this stuff I guess keep out for my coffee and a card. I don't want to accidentally put something away, you know? That would be bad news. So I'm kind of cleaned up. Cool. So Lori, have you been sitting here watching or did you just come on? Because we're done now. The last two, both of these went together pretty quick, I think. This was, no, this is the one I was putzing around with. This one went pretty quick. This one went really quick. I had that stuff cut out ahead of time, so. Well, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. So you need to come up with 2 cards. Definitely the embossed one. Maybe a stamped one. And is it for a class or for your video? And do you have the positioning tool? Because that would be a good thing to demonstrate with like the embossed and stuff. I have mine set aside for my coffee and a card for tomorrow already, so I didn't want to undo what I have set up already. There we go. I think I need any of these for tomorrow. I need to look. No, I don't, because I've got it set up on the positioning tool. Ah, thinking out loud. So when you do a video, do you then offer it as a class? Or do you do the class and then offer it as a video? Just curious. So in your class, you don't do embossing? That can be a little much depending on skill level for everybody. It depends on who my class is as to whether I do any embossing. And if it's, you know, embossing folder, embossing, I get that stuff done ahead of time so that for most of my classes. One class they all do it on their own. But like for my coffee and card, I don't want to travel with a lot of stuff. Because I just don't want to pack up stuff. I just try to get everything prepped for my coffee and a card so that everything's there. All of their supplies go in an envelope. I think I need to clean that a little bit more. Yeah, all their stuff goes in an envelope, and that way too I can count and make sure, you know, how many pieces I need for a card and know that they have everything they need. Because if I'm traveling, if I'm missing something, it's not like I can just reach over and grab what I don't have. You know, that's the nice thing about doing the videos too. It's like, oh, I don't have that paper. Let me just walk over and go get it. You can't do that if you got a class remote, off-site, however you want to describe it. I am almost cleaned up. I'm going to leave this out because that's the sentiment that I have for the class. And I think I'm good to go. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for chit-chatting while I cleaned up. Ooh, that ink needs to go over there too. That would be bad if I forgot the ink. I was hoping I could have spent a little time reading before heading to bed, but I'm not going to have time if I want to get any sleep in. So there is free shipping coming up. It started. So today, Thursday, Friday. $75 order. So if you've got bonus coupons or Stampin' Rewards, if you have to take those off first, and then you still have to be at $75 in order to get the free shipping. So keep that in mind. You know, if you've got Stampin' Rewards, maybe save those up because you'll earn more Stampin' Rewards on any orders you place. The bonus coupons, you want to make sure you use them by the end of the month if you earned any. So, and Lynn, or Lori rather, Lynn in Minnesota, L in Minnesota. Lori, are you a demonstrator? I don't remember. Because the free shipping was posted on the Stampin' Up! Page today. Yeah, so if you've got a demonstrator, hopefully she shared with you that the free shipping is now. All right. Any other questions, suggestions? I'm not sure what I want to do tomorrow, if I want to craft or if we want to go through all of the stuff that might be going on the last chance list. I haven't looked at it. I think they put more things on the last chance list. I'm not sure. But with the switching up of the catalogs. Oh, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. With catalogs coming and going, I need to go through my stuff because I haven't cleaned out all the stuff from the last mini catalog that we had, the September to December one. So, all right, Allie, try to have a good day. I know you'll have a little bit of a cloud over you. And when you go to Dallas, I hope you have safe travels. Yeah, go take a look. I will do the same. So until next time, ladies, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for crafting with me. And glad you liked the cards. So until next time, happy crafting.